Gentlemen, welcome to Rivalry Week. I don't know if anybody else has hidden dirty dishes in their opponents' houses, so I think Nick might have beat us all on that one, although this is also one of those, maybe he didn't, but he's going to have Pat just, snooping around his house for the week, where is it? Who knows? So... But anyway, I'm excited for this week's drink, and I'm excited to win in fantasy football this week. Yeah, we can get started then. The drink of the week is called the Ritz. It's similar to, if anyone's ever had a French 75, it's got a similar vibe to it. Which French 75 is one of my favorite cocktails. So I can warn you though that it will, it's got a bit of a kick to it. If anyone who's had French 75s know that those can be pretty intense. So we'll get started. Not a lot of questions, that's all right. Because who cares? I guess that much. Mostly it's about the cocktail, right? Let's get started right off the bat. We've got a quarter ounce of fresh lime juice. I haven't measured this totally yet, so let me see how accurate it was. It's pretty close. Eyeballing it. So I'm impressed with myself. And while we're doing this, got some questions to answer. Let's see, quarter ounce of maraschino liqueur. Brian, of course, wants to know, how do I feel about being called a paper tiger in the power rankings? Look, I get it. My team isn't the most insanely dominant team. You know, I've certainly had better football teams, fantasy teams in my life. Yeah, I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job with the team I've got. I don't know, paper tiger maybe, but I've made shrewd moves, bye week kind of defense subs and field goal kickers that, sneak in some points here and there. I don't know. I guess all things considered, I do feel pretty lucky. So maybe that's what it is to be a paper tiger. Is I feel like you got a horseshoe up your ass, Do I think Nick really left something in Pat's house? I mean, it's impossible to say for sure. We got half an ounce of orange liqueur. Nick's capable of anything, but that would be that could be a pretty crazy thing to do to somebody with kids. Although then again, maybe, there's nothing Nick could leave around the house that would be worse than, stuff the kids have left around the house before. Of course, I could add to it, Pat might find a plate or some weird dirty dishes somewhere and be like, what the hell, Nick? And then it turns out, one of the kids did it. So, but I'm going to say yes. Why not? It's more fun to imagine that he did do it. So, and Brian wants to know if he can turn it around and win best of the rest. Of course. I mean, the best of the rest is a tradition unlike any other, and anyone can win it, right? All right. One of the final big ingredients before the biggest is 3/4 of an ounce of cognac or brandy of any sort, depending on your taste. All right, so yeah, those were the questions. I'll just talk about how awesome that World Series was after all this, because it was a pretty sweet World Series. But first, I've got to go get some ice and sparkling wine and a glass and a spoon to stir it with and a strainer to strain it with. So I will be right back. And I'm back. Ready to stir this up, strain it, finish it, drink it, all that fun stuff. I hope everyone enjoyed this World Series. It was a spectacular 7 games of baseball. I'm very sad that there's no more baseball for me to watch. And that's okay. I guess I'll have to settle with football for a while, like the rest of you weirdos. Hopefully I can enjoy winning at football. Fantasy football that is this week. All right, got that strained now. top it off with 2 to 3 ounces of sparkling wine. Got some kind of cheap Prosecco, because it doesn't matter how nice it is if it's going in a cocktail, really. I'll just eyeball this. It says top it off. I don't know how many ounces is in this bottle. How much did I use? Christ. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure that was 2 to 3 ounces. And then, because this is a Dale DeGroff cocktail, of course, one of the kind of bringer abouts of cocktails, this has a flamed orange, because that's like one of his biggest creations is the flamed orange. This is not the best peel. Oh, fuck. Anyway, I got the juices, I got the essence. So, cheers, gentlemen. That is a fine, Ritzy cocktail. It's good for celebrations, like, for instance, celebrating the birth of your child. We have a new member of the Liquored Up family, so that's pretty awesome. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. And yeah, so here's to a good week of fantasy football. Fuck you, Casey. You're going to lose. I'm going to win. It's going to be great. My mustache will be happy. Everyone will be happy. And maybe I'll make a few more of these sparkling wine cocktails to celebrate. So cheers, gentlemen. And here's to having a nice week.